We strive to grow and be happy. It's important to think about how being kind and nice affects our lives. Being kind is usually a good thing, but sometimes being too nice can harm us. In this video, we'll learn from the wise samurai, Miyamoto Musashi, and talk about the dangers of being too nice. By understanding these dangers, we can find a balance between being kind and taking care of ourselves. Lesson 1. Being too nice may lead to manipulation. When we are excessively accommodating and eager to please others, we become vulnerable to manipulation. People with ulterior motives may take advantage of our kindness, exploiting our willingness to help without reciprocating. The danger lies in our inability to set boundaries and assert our own needs and desires. Miyamoto Musashi, the esteemed samurai and philosopher, understood the importance of maintaining a sense of self amidst the demands of others. He emphasized the need for discernment in our interactions, cautioning against blind trust and encouraging us to be aware of the intentions of those around us. By being too nice, we may unintentionally invite individuals into our lives who see our kindness as an opportunity for manipulation. They may exploit our desire to please and manipulate us for their own gain. This can manifest in various ways, such as emotional manipulation, gaslighting, or even financial exploitation. To protect ourselves from such manipulation, Musashi teaches us the importance of developing a strong sense of self-worth and assertiveness. By recognizing our own value and setting clear boundaries, we can deter those who seek to take advantage of our kindness. Musashi's teachings inspire us to cultivate inner strength and resilience, enabling us to navigate relationships with a discerning eye. It is crucial to remember that being kind does not mean sacrificing our own well-being or compromising our values. True kindness is rooted in respect for both ourselves and others. By maintaining a healthy balance between kindness and self-preservation, we can avoid falling prey to manipulation. Being too nice can lead to manipulation when we fail to establish boundaries and prioritize our own well-being. Miyamoto Musashi's teachings remind us of the importance of discernment and self-worth in our interactions. By embracing these teachings, we can navigate relationships with greater awareness and protect ourselves from those who would seek to exploit our kindness. Lesson 2. It hinders personal growth. Being too nice can hinder our personal growth by diverting our attention and energy away from our own aspirations and goals. When we constantly prioritize the needs and desires of others over our own, we neglect our own self-development and potential. Miyamoto Musashi understood the importance of self-improvement and self-mastery. He believed that personal growth is a lifelong journey that requires dedication and focus. By being too nice, we may find ourselves constantly putting others' needs ahead of our own, leaving little time and energy for our own pursuits. When we consistently prioritize the happiness and well-being of others at the expense of our own, we limit our opportunities for personal growth. We may hesitate to take risks, try new experiences, or pursue our passions because we fear that it may inconvenience or disappoint others. This fear of disappointing others can hold us back from reaching our full potential. Musashi's teachings encourage us to strike a balance between kindness and self-development. He reminds us that by nurturing our own talents, interests, and ambitions, we not only enrich our own lives, but also become better equipped to contribute positively to the world around us. To overcome the hindrance of personal growth caused by excessive niceness, it is important to prioritize ourselves and our own aspirations. This does not mean abandoning kindness or disregarding the needs of others, but rather finding a healthy equilibrium. By setting boundaries and allocating time for self-care, learning, and pursuing our goals, we can cultivate a sense of fulfillment and personal growth. It is crucial to recognize that personal growth is not selfish. It is an essential aspect of leading a meaningful and purposeful life. By embracing Musashi's teachings and understanding the dangers of being too nice in relation to personal growth, we can empower ourselves to prioritize our own development while still being kind and considerate towards others. Being too nice can hinder personal growth by diverting our attention away from our own aspirations and goals. Miyamoto Musashi's teachings remind us of the importance of self-improvement and finding a balance between kindness and self-development. By prioritizing ourselves and our own growth, we can unlock our full potential and lead more fulfilling lives. Lesson 3. It can hinder assertiveness. Being too nice can hinder our ability to assert ourselves and express our needs, desires, and boundaries effectively. When we prioritize maintaining harmony and avoiding conflict, we may suppress our own opinions and compromise our assertiveness. Miyamoto Musashi recognized the importance of cultivating inner strength and courage. He understood that assertiveness is crucial for maintaining healthy relationships and ensuring that our own needs are met. By being too nice, we may find ourselves constantly acquiescing to the wishes of others, even when it goes against our own desires. When we lack assertiveness, we may struggle to communicate our thoughts and feelings openly and honestly. We may fear rejection or disapproval, leading us to suppress our true selves in order to maintain the perception of being nice. This can result in a loss of personal agency and a diminished sense of self-worth. Musashi's teachings inspire us to find the balance between kindness and assertiveness. He encourages us to express ourselves confidently while respecting the perspectives of others. By cultivating assertiveness, we can establish clear boundaries, make our needs known, and advocate for ourselves without compromising our kindness. To overcome the hindrance of assertiveness caused by excessive niceness, it is important to develop self-awareness and practice effective communication. This involves recognizing and valuing our own thoughts, feelings, and opinions, and expressing them assertively and respectfully. By embracing assertiveness, we not only ensure that our own needs are met, but we also foster healthier and more authentic relationships. Assertiveness allows us to establish mutual respect and understanding with others, leading to more meaningful connections based on open and honest communication. Being too nice can hinder assertiveness by suppressing our ability to express ourselves and advocate for our own needs. Miyamoto Musashi's teachings remind us of the importance of cultivating inner strength and finding a balance between kindness and assertiveness. By developing assertiveness, we can establish clear boundaries, communicate effectively, and maintain healthier relationships while still embodying kindness. Lesson 4. It can attract toxic relationships. Being too nice can inadvertently attract toxic relationships into our lives. When we consistently prioritize the needs and happiness of others above our own, we may unknowingly attract individuals who take advantage of our kindness and exploit our willingness to please. Miyamoto Musashi understood the importance of surrounding oneself with positive influences and avoiding toxic relationships. He emphasized the need to be discerning in our interactions and to recognize when it is necessary to distance ourselves from harmful individuals. When we are excessively nice, we may become magnets for those who seek to manipulate, control, or drain our energy. Toxic individuals thrive on exploiting the kindness and generosity of others for their own benefit. They may exhibit behaviors such as emotional manipulation, constant criticism, or a lack of respect for boundaries. These toxic relationships can have detrimental effects on our well-being. They can drain our energy, erode our self-esteem, and hinder our personal growth. By constantly prioritizing the needs of toxic individuals, we neglect our own self-care and happiness. To protect ourselves from attracting toxic relationships, it is important to establish healthy boundaries and practice self-respect. Musashi's teachings remind us of the significance of recognizing our own worth and surrounding ourselves with individuals who uplift and support us. By being mindful of red flags and trusting our instincts, we can avoid falling into the trap of toxic relationships. It is essential to prioritize our own well-being and happiness, even if it means saying no or distancing ourselves from individuals who do not have our best interests at heart. Miyamoto Musashi's teachings encourage us to be discerning in our interactions and to prioritize our own well-being. By establishing healthy boundaries and surrounding ourselves with positive influences, we can protect ourselves from toxic relationships and cultivate healthier connections based on mutual respect and support. Lesson 5. It can lead to resentment. Being too nice can lead to the accumulation of resentment over time. When we consistently prioritize the needs and wants of others at the expense of our own, we may start to feel a sense of frustration, disappointment, and bitterness. Miyamoto Musashi recognized the importance of maintaining balance and harmony in our lives. He understood that suppressing our own desires and constantly putting others first can create a breeding ground for resentment to build up within us. By constantly sacrificing our own needs and desires, we may begin to feel unappreciated and taken for granted. We might harbor feelings of anger and resentment towards those who seem to benefit from our kindness without reciprocating or acknowledging our efforts. Resentment can poison our relationships and our own well-being. It can lead to a breakdown in communication, emotional distancing, and even the deterioration of once close connections. Additionally, harboring resentment can negatively impact our mental and emotional health, leading to increased stress and unhappiness. To prevent the accumulation of resentment, it is crucial to establish healthy boundaries and practice self-care. Musashi's teachings remind us of the importance of self-respect and self-preservation. By valuing our own needs and setting clear boundaries, we can avoid becoming overwhelmed by the weight of resentment. Open and honest communication is also vital in preventing resentment from festering. Expressing our feelings and concerns to others allows for the opportunity to address any imbalances or misunderstandings in the relationship. By fostering a culture of open dialogue, we can prevent resentment from taking root and nurture healthier connections based on mutual understanding and respect. Miyamoto Musashi's teachings remind us of the importance of balance and self-care. By establishing boundaries, practicing open communication, and valuing our own needs, we can prevent resentment from poisoning our relationships and maintain a healthier sense of well-being. Lesson 6. It may hinder decision-making. Being too nice can hinder our ability to make decisions confidently and assertively. When we prioritize the desires and opinions of others above our own, we may struggle to assert our own preferences and make choices that align with our true desires. Miyamoto Musashi emphasized the importance of decisive action and clarity of mind. He understood that effective decision-making requires a strong sense of self and the ability to prioritize our own needs and goals. When we are excessively nice, we may find ourselves constantly seeking the approval and validation of others before making decisions. We may fear disappointing or inconveniencing others, leading us to second-guess ourselves and delay or avoid making choices altogether. This hesitation and indecisiveness can have negative consequences. It can lead to missed opportunities, unfulfilled desires, and a lack of personal agency. By constantly deferring to others, we relinquish control over our own lives and allow external influences to dictate our decisions. To overcome the hindrance of decision-making caused by excessive niceness, it is important to cultivate self-confidence and trust in our own judgment. Musashi's teachings remind us of the importance of self-trust and the need to prioritize our own desires and goals. By practicing self-reflection and understanding our own values, priorities, and aspirations, we can make decisions that align with our authentic selves. It is essential to recognize that prioritizing our own needs and desires does not make us selfish, but rather allows us to live a more fulfilling and purposeful life. Developing assertiveness and effective communication skills can also enhance our decision-making abilities. By expressing our thoughts and preferences clearly and respectfully, we can ensure that our voice is heard and our choices are taken into consideration. Being too nice can hinder decision-making by causing hesitation, indecisiveness, and a lack of self-trust. Miyamoto Musashi's teachings remind us of the importance of decisive action and prioritizing our own needs. By cultivating self-confidence, practicing effective communication, and trusting our own judgment, we can overcome the hindrance of excessive niceness and make decisions that align with our true desires and aspirations. Lesson 7. It can prevent healthy assertive communication. Being too nice can prevent us from engaging in healthy assertive communication. When we prioritize avoiding conflict and maintaining harmony, we may struggle to express our thoughts, feelings, and boundaries in a clear and assertive manner. Miyamoto Musashi recognized the importance of effective communication in fostering healthy relationships. He understood that assertive communication allows for open dialogue, mutual understanding, and the establishment of healthy boundaries. When we are excessively nice, we may find ourselves avoiding confrontation or uncomfortable conversations. We may fear that expressing our true thoughts and feelings will lead to conflict or rejection. As a result, we may resort to passive or passive-aggressive communication styles, which can hinder the resolution of issues and lead to misunderstandings. By suppressing our own needs and opinions, we deny ourselves the opportunity to be heard and understood. This can create a cycle of frustration and resentment, as our true thoughts and feelings remain unexpressed. To overcome the hindrance of healthy assertive communication caused by excessive niceness, it is important to develop self-confidence and practice effective communication skills. Musashi's teachings remind us of the importance of expressing ourselves authentically while respecting the perspectives of others. By cultivating self-awareness and self-advocacy, we can learn to communicate assertively and respectfully. This involves expressing our thoughts and feelings honestly, using I statements, and actively listening to others. It also requires setting clear boundaries and asserting our needs without aggression or passivity. Healthy assertive communication allows for the expression of differing opinions, the resolution of conflicts, and the establishment of mutually beneficial solutions. It promotes understanding, respect, and the strengthening of relationships. Being too nice can prevent healthy assertive communication by inhibiting our ability to express ourselves effectively and establish clear boundaries. Miyamoto Musashi's teachings remind us of the importance of open dialogue and self-advocacy. By developing self-confidence, practicing effective communication skills, and respecting both our own needs and those of others, we can overcome the hindrance of excessive niceness and engage in healthy assertive communication. Lesson 8. It may undermine our self-worth. Being too nice can undermine our self-worth and self-esteem. When we constantly prioritize the needs and happiness of others above our own, we may start to devalue our own worth and neglect our own well-being. Miyamoto Musashi recognized the importance of self-respect and self-preservation. He understood that by consistently putting others first, we risk diminishing our own sense of value and worthiness. When we are excessively nice, we may internalize the message that our own needs and desires are less important than those of others. We may downplay our accomplishments, dismiss our own opinions, and neglect our own self-care. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and a diminished sense of self-worth. By constantly seeking validation and approval from others, we become reliant on external sources to define our own value. This can be a slippery slope, as the opinions and actions of others are ever-changing and unreliable measures of our true worth. To overcome the undermining of self-worth caused by excessive niceness, it is crucial to cultivate self-compassion and self-validation. Musashi's teachings remind us of the importance of recognizing our own inherent value and treating ourselves with kindness and respect. By practicing self-care, setting boundaries, and acknowledging our own achievements and strengths, we can rebuild our sense of self-worth. It is essential to prioritize our own well-being and happiness, recognizing that we are deserving of love, respect, and fulfillment. Surrounding ourselves with supportive and uplifting individuals can also contribute to the restoration of self-worth. Building a network of positive influences who appreciate and value us for who we are can counteract the negative impact of excessive niceness. Being too nice can undermine our self-worth by causing us to devalue our own needs and neglect our own well-being. Miyamoto Musashi's teachings remind us of the importance of self-respect and self-preservation. By cultivating self-compassion, practicing self-care, and surrounding ourselves with positive influences, we can overcome the undermining of self-worth caused by excessive niceness and embrace our true value and worthiness. Lesson 9. It may hinder personal happiness. Being too nice can hinder our personal happiness. When we constantly prioritize the happiness of others at the expense of our own, we may neglect our own needs, desires, and overall well-being. Miyamoto Musashi understood the importance of finding personal fulfillment and happiness. He recognized that true happiness comes from living an authentic life, pursuing our passions, and prioritizing our own happiness alongside the happiness of others. When we are excessively nice, we may find ourselves constantly sacrificing our own desires and suppressing our own happiness for the sake of others. This can lead to a sense of emptiness, dissatisfaction, and a lack of fulfillment in our own lives. By neglecting our own needs and desires, we deny ourselves the opportunity to pursue our passions, engage in activities that bring us joy, and live a life that aligns with our true selves. This can result in a diminished sense of personal happiness and a feeling of being unfulfilled. To overcome the hindrance of personal happiness caused by excessive niceness, it is important to prioritize self-care and self-fulfillment. Musashi's teachings remind us of the importance of finding balance in our lives and pursuing our own happiness alongside the happiness of others. By identifying our own needs and desires, setting boundaries, and making time for activities that bring us joy, we can enhance our personal happiness. It is essential to recognize that taking care of ourselves and pursuing our own happiness is not selfish, but rather necessary for overall well-being. Additionally, cultivating gratitude and practicing mindfulness can contribute to personal happiness. By appreciating the present moment, finding joy in the simple things, and acknowledging the blessings in our lives, we can enhance our overall sense of happiness and fulfillment. Miyamoto Musashi's teachings remind us of the importance of finding personal fulfillment and prioritizing our own happiness alongside the happiness of others. By practicing self-care, pursuing our passions, and cultivating gratitude, we can overcome the hindrance of excessive niceness and experience greater personal happiness in our lives. Lesson 10. It limits personal boundaries. Being too nice can limit our personal boundaries. When we prioritize the needs and desires of others above our own, we may struggle to establish and maintain healthy boundaries in our relationships and interactions. Miyamoto Musashi emphasized the importance of self-preservation and setting clear boundaries. He recognized that establishing personal boundaries is crucial for maintaining our well-being, protecting our values, and fostering healthy relationships. When we are excessively nice, we may find ourselves constantly saying yes to others' requests, even when it goes against our own comfort or values. We may feel obligated to please others at the expense of our own boundaries, leading to feelings of resentment, exhaustion, and a loss of personal autonomy. By neglecting to set and enforce our personal boundaries, we risk compromising our own well-being and allowing others to take advantage of us. This can lead to a lack of respect from others, as well as a diminished sense of self-worth and self-respect. To overcome the limitation of personal boundaries caused by excessive niceness, it is important to prioritize self-respect and assertiveness. Musashi's teachings remind us of the importance of honoring our own values and needs while respecting the boundaries of others. By clearly defining our personal boundaries and communicating them assertively and respectfully, we establish a framework for healthy relationships and interactions. This involves learning to say no when necessary, expressing our needs and limits, and standing up for ourselves when our boundaries are crossed. It is also important to surround ourselves with individuals who respect and support our boundaries. Building relationships with people who value and appreciate our need for personal boundaries can contribute to a healthier and more fulfilling life. Being too nice can limit personal boundaries by compromising our well-being, autonomy, and self-respect. Miyamoto Musashi's teachings remind us of the importance of establishing and maintaining healthy boundaries. By prioritizing self-respect, practicing assertiveness, and surrounding ourselves with supportive individuals, we can overcome the limitation of excessive niceness and cultivate a life that respects and honors our personal boundaries. While kindness is a noble virtue, it is crucial to recognize the dangers associated with being too nice. By embracing the teachings of Miyamoto Musashi, we gain valuable insights into striking a balance between kindness and self-preservation. Through self-awareness, assertiveness, and healthy boundaries, we can navigate the dangers of excessive niceness and cultivate a life that is both compassionate towards others and fulfilling for ourselves.